Go to bed.
But we're gonna get unblocked.
Sometimes you see him out there and he's just fucking asleep.
Get a pillow, get a blanket.
No, I'm not a fucking dirtbag.
Go to bed. Tired, dude.
Good night. Go to bed.
Just in case you can lock it and make sure no fuckers like hit record on you. You know?
That's a big problem in the industry, dude.
It's a big problem.
Fuckers hitting record on you, dude.
Yeah.
Where's your pen, dude?
I don't know. I couldn't find it, but I got a couple topics in mind.
Off top?
Off top, you know. Sometimes we write down topics. Sometimes we don't. That's how it goes here.
Let's go with the flow.
That's right. All right, you guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Yo, what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Go to Bed. I'm your co-host, Fiki, joined with my co-host.
11.5% Filipino JP. For all my new listeners out there.
Just in case
It's
you're
official.
wondering, dude.
Yep.
It's like, fuck, I wonder how Filipino this dude is.
Yep. This guy is Italian and I'm Filipino. So if that doesn't say a lot, I don't know what will. For all my new listeners.
Yeah, you're a fucking idiot.
I appreciate that.
Quick shout out to our sponsor, Harmonious CBD. HarmoniousCBD.com. Use code GOTOBED for 10% off your entire order. What else about that?
Dude, they will actually, if you order online and you put in go to bed as your discount code, they will literally deliver it to your foot.
That's what
to
I
your
heard, dude.
foot, dude.
They ship
Yeah.
it right to your foot.
Yeah, it's not a myth. It's not a legend. It is the truth. And the only way to find out is to go to harmoniouscbd.com and use go to bed. And that's the only way.
Yeah, you got some fucking greasy eyelids again today, dude.
I've been swimming all day in a pool full of chlorine.
I can tell by your
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah.
With your eyes
Yeah,
that's
open,
going on.
too, dude.
Yeah, that's what's going on. That's it. Just swimming.
Yeah, you were trying to see under there. too.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
fucking
I
do a
played the
laps.
game where you throw the heavy thing into the middle of the pool and then you dive in and go to the bottom and get it.
Just forgot your goggles.
Just forgot my goggles. You know, I didn't want to rent. Didn't want to rent, dude.
Yeah, that's a fucking scam.
That
Renting.
is so.
All right, fucking.
Wait,
if you're-
dude, I want to say it. All right, leave a 5-star review, dude. I mean, rating. God damn, dude. The pool, there's so much chlorine in there, dude. There's so much chlorine. I couldn't stop opening my eyes. So leave a review, 5-star rating, and talk some shit on the review. Let's hear. Do we have any new ones?
Yeah, we got a few new ones.
All right, good to hear. Thank
All right,
God.
this
I was worried. I was worried.
This one's from Trump Train 775, and it's titled JP.
Oh,
It says,
God.
JP needs to lay off the weed or something because every time JP talks, I can hear my brain cells pop because how dumb he is. Thumbs down.
Well, that's a true fan, dude. That's a true fan.
And that's a 5-star rating, too.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the rating. I agree with you, but guess what? I'm not going to stop, dude. Trump train. Not going to stop. I'm only going to burn more of my brain cells and yours. So keep listening. Thank you. Leave a review right now.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I agree.
Any others or should we wait?
Nah, dude.
That's it?
That's it. That's our review of the week. So
What do you
fucking
think of that fucking comment?
Accurate.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks.
There's nothing wrong with it.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. It's pretty funny.
All right, make sure to tell a fucking friend about the show
Yep.
and follow us on Instagram, Go to Bed Podcast. Send us an email, go to bed podcast at gmail.com. Go to bed podcast.com.
Buy a t-shirt.
Yeah, you can buy a shirt, buy a fucking pillow, buy a blanket,
You can.
buy a
No
mug.
one's bought a blanket. They're like $80, but I mean, still.
Sorry.
Pendleton over
Yeah,
there.
they're $80, dude.
Maybe that's why.
They cost like $50 to make, so I
I
mean,
know,
you got to
yeah.
make some money, you know.
That's
Yeah, double
true,
your
dude.
money is pretty good.
Well, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you guys support us, you'll fucking buy it. If not, quit listening, dude.
Straight up, dude. If you don't have a fucking blanket, fuck you.
No one's bought a blanket
Yeah,
yet.
fuck them all then.
Only t-shirts.
That's right.
So,
All right, we got a fucking special guest today. We haven't had a guest in a while because we ran out of fucking cool people to interview. Pretty quick. But our dude Sage is on the show today. Sage, what's going on?
What is up, Alex? How are you doing, man?
Fine, dude.
Thanks for having
and
me.
he's not like Sage. He said we ran out of cool people. You're really cool because you could probably kick everyone that's previously been on this podcast ass. So he's still pretty sick, but
Yeah, Sage is fucking
gnarly.
mini Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Seriously, dude.
Or maybe
Sage.
bigger. I don't know. I've never seen Joe Rogan, so he could
Never
be
seen him in
bigger.
person.
And Sage could also be fucking 25 or 45. We don't know.
Somewhere in the middle. Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Well, welcome to the show. Sage has his own podcast that he just started called Sage the Rage, which you can find on Spotify. And are you on Apple yet?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm still I'm new to this
Figuring it
whole
out.
entrepreneur thing.
I listen to it on Spotify, so
Okay,
I know
cool.
it's on there.
I know it's on Anchor. That's who I put it through.
Yeah,
And then I don't know if I'm on iTunes yet or what the deal is.
Yeah,
So I'm still messing with it, but
cool.
yeah.
Look
Yeah,
for
so
it.
Sage's first episode is super good. He has like a crazy story. You're only 26, right?
Yeah, 26.
So, like, been through a lot of shit already at 26, which is pretty crazy. So if you want, you don't have to go through your whole story like you did, because they can listen to your podcast for it's like 30 minutes long.
Yeah.
For the whole story. But if you want to give kind of a abbreviated version of that, go ahead so the listeners know who you are, what you do,
Yeah.
where you're from, that type of shit.
Yeah, definitely. So my name is Sage, Bachelor, and born and raised in Rio Rancho, New Mexico. And don't look at the camera, look at you guys.
Wherever you
just
want.
look wherever.
Yeah. That's for the people on YouTube. So if you're watching, this is
Gotcha.
love for you guys. You
Right
know?
on.
Some
Cool.
people watch.
Fair enough.
Some people just listen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry, Sage. Go
Oh,
ahead.
no, you're good. You're good. Yeah, so born and raised right outside Albuquerque. Was homeschooled growing up and joined the Navy right out at 18. Went off to be a Navy SEAL, but I ended up breaking my leg about 7 or 8 months into training. And then, at the time, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I had all these hopes and dreams of being a Navy SEAL, and I know you guys are newer to the CrossFit community, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys started a few months ago.
Just like a year.
Oh, a year ago, yeah.
about a
So
year.
I've been in CrossFit since I was like 15.
Dang.
Yeah, so I was part of the CrossFit community going into the SEAL training, and I was a really strong candidate, but just your body doesn't hold up when you're 18. Your bones are fragile. So ended up getting out and going back home and got on as a wildland firefighter when I went back home.
In New Mexico?
Yeah, in New Mexico. So did that for a season, and then I was almost 20, 19, 20 at the time. That's when I started cage fighting.
Gnarly.
And,
What made you want to start? Like, did someone bring you along or?
Well, so I'd always been super involved in martial arts since I was a little kid.
Oh.
So starting off at like 6, I was obsessed with Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee and all these great martial artists. And that's when kind of UFC started kind of taking off when I was like 10, 12. And, I started watching The Ultimate Fighter, and, Albuquerque's the mecca. It's the mecca for
really?
MMA. That's Jackson's MMA. That's where John Jones and Diego Sanchez and
Whoa.
all these, all the old school guys came out. Holly Holmes is out of there, John Dobson, so it's like, it's
Whoa.
a place to be if you're going to be an MMA fighter.
Right.
And so started training on when I was young, and I trained with the guys at Jackson's. So 18 training with like UFC fighters was really cool.
Fuck yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, and then I was like, well, I got to give it a shot. And after I was like, after 5 fights and then just realizing how hard it is on your body, after you get thumped a couple times, you're like, God dang.
Yeah.
Like this isn't worth it, like I'm sure it's like when you crash on a dirt bike, you're like, God, man,
Dude, I've never even been in a fight.
Yeah, most of the people have it. It's a crazy thing, and you get locked in this cage with another human being that's been training to kick your ass, like training to kill you, and you're just like, it's like so many levels to fighting, like, just like anything. So, but
that's crazy.
I think it's truly, why I want to do it is I think it's truly the purest sport, like what's more raw and, pure than getting in a cage and, seeing who comes out, the winner.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But, like I said, man, I had friends that were way more talented than me. And, one guy, I remember he got a concussion, just training. Actually, it was Diego Sanchez. And he head kicked him, and the guy had a brain bleed in his head. And then after that, he was like, can't fight, you know. It was just like, I was like, okay, this is not,
No
way.
way.
I'm not that good, you know. I'm good for my age, but I'm not, you know.
Not
I'm not gonna,
UFC.
I'm not I'm not gonna be a Conor McGregor over here.
Have you fought? Like, what's your highest? Like, are you professional? What would you say?
So yeah, I fought at pro level. Yeah,
Okay.
one fight in Mexico. So I don't know if I'm technically pro in the U.S.
Oh,
But
okay.
I had one pro fight. I had 4 amateur fights. I was 4-0.
Wow.
And then they were all first round submissions. I mean, I never fought anyone like, you know, crazy good or anything, but, you know, and then I had one professional fight out in Juarez, Mexico when I was freaking 19 years old.
What the fuck? How'd you get that?
Yeah, honestly, my coach, Chris Luttrell, he owns Luttrell's down in Mexico, and he's partnered with Jackson's, or was. They started together, but he broke off and started his own gym.
Yeah.
And he just called me. He's like, hey, you want to fight in Mexico, in Juarez? They're paying $800. I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, we'll put you up in a room for a couple days. You know, you get per diem. Oh man, it was awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, we were like celebrities down there because like nothing goes to Juarez, you know. So we're a bunch of American fighters down there, you know.
Yeah.
But we beat them. We ended up beating the Mexicans so bad they're just like, hey, you guys, like, they'd get to the second round, like, we can't beat them this bad, you know?
Damn.
Yeah.
So they paid you $800 like no matter what, win or lose?
No, I
That's
think it was just for win.
Oh,
I think,
okay.
yeah, win. I think $400 a show,
Yeah.
you know, 800 wins, something like that. So,
Okay.
yeah. And his name is Joaquin, the guy I fought. We're still friends on Facebook. So,
Whoa.
Nice.
he's a cool dude.
You
Yeah.
still live down there?
Yeah, I think so. I think he still does.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You went down there for your first fight.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
it's nuts. So,
Do you keep up with the fighting nowadays? And
you know,
stuff?
I really don't. I kind of fell out of it. The only fight I really keep up on is like McGregor, John Jones. I keep up on Holly Holmes because, you know, she's a
Right.
homegirl for sure. She's from my hometown. So, but, you know, there was just so many people coming in and out, in and out, in and out. You know, I just kind of lost interest in it, I guess. Seems like no one stays on top for too long.
Yeah.
True.
The UFC anymore.
That's what's wild to me about it is like you got to fucking be like fully committed to even do it. Like
Oh,
it seems
yeah.
like you can't be like, oh, I'm going to fucking try to do photo video and like you figure out you suck and then you're like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. You got to like fucking fight someone.
Yeah,
Like, for
yeah.
real.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
You
think
can't just like do the
yeah.
training, like the workout part and then not fight.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, exactly. And you think about, you know, like what's the worst case scenario if you know, sign up for a volleyball game and you don't train hard for it? Like you lose. What's the worst case scenario on a fight?
You fucking
You don't
get
train
your
for
ass beat, dude. You get your ass handed
Yeah,
to you,
you
dude.
know, that's the thing. You have to dedicate a lot of time to
Yeah.
training because it's
Yeah.
not like, you know, oh, you just lose. It's like, no, if you lose, you got your ass kicked.
Right.
You know?
Dude, when I was 15, I trained 3 months straight of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai.
Uh-huh.
And that was sick, dude. That shit is sick, honestly. My coach had us, like, learning how to fucking be thrown and shit, like, how to land, like, if you get thrown, how to, like, roll out of it. And I was like, fuck yeah. And he'd hype me up. He was like, yo, just think about it. If you get kicked off your dirt bike and shit, you'll know how to crash properly with this technique. And he'd, like, have me jump off these, like box jumps, but they're flat, or, excuse me, soft. Not flat.
It's like box jumps without the box.
Yeah. It's like jumping.
Dude, yeah, jumping right off it, rolling. I felt sick, dude.
So did you use that on riding?
Well, luckily I was so good. 03 champ, I didn't fall.
Never fell since then.
I haven't fell. Yeah.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
that's funny.
It's
Right.
sick, dude.
It's been a while. Have you seen me fall?
I don't think I have.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
I don't think I have.
I don't fall, dude. I don't fall. I'm athletic. I'm an athletic type.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, I don't know how you guys did it. I rode a dirt bike once and just about killed me.
Yeah, they'll do that.
Yeah.
It's sketchy.
Yeah, man. I was in some sand and so I was like, how the fuck you?
Yeah.
Where was it?
Yeah, out in New Mexico.
Oh, cool.
Oh, shit, I'm moving your boom all over the place.
Oh,
My
you're
bad.
good. You're good. That's cool though. Yeah, dirt bike, dude. It's hard for it's hard for like the first 4 years for me. You know? I
Yeah,
was
dude. I
squirrely.
was like, dude, this is
Yeah.
it's not something I have that much time to dedicate to being good at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after cage fighting, then what?
So yeah, after cage fighting, I was supposed to turn pro, but the week before I had my like pro fight in the U.S., I bought a Harley, and I crashed my Harley, and I broke my collarbone.
Oh my god.
So, and that's really when I was like, okay, you know, like if you get injured, you don't get paid. I'm like, I can't do this for, a future. So I started applying to the police department and fire department. And I was just like, kind of whoever picks me up first, I'll go with. I really wanted to be a firefighter just because, it went with the training schedule. Because I mean, you only work 2 days a week, it's killer. But ended up getting on with the police department first in Santa Fe, New Mexico, which is about like an hour outside Albuquerque. And I did that for the last 5 years. Last 5 years. Yeah, my last day was August 18th of 2 years ago now, 2018.
Wow.
Yeah, that was my last day over there.
In New Mexico?
Yeah, in New Mexico.
I feel like just how I met you at Double Edge and stuff, that you've lived here for longer than like a year.
We met him when he like first moved here.
Yeah.
Like he just walked in the gym and that was like his first day.
It seemed like you lived here. Just the way you talked and how nice you were.
Yeah, it's a community, man. It's CrossFit. That's my hometown.
Okay,
like I'm so comfortable in that community. I've been a part of, like I said, 10, 11 years I've been a part of the CrossFit community.
Okay.
So like that's where I go. If I was going to move somewhere, if I would visit somewhere, the first thing I do is go to the CrossFit. I sign up,
Yeah.
So I know it's like good people.
Right.
Like that's my first thing I do.
That is cool about CrossFit. I didn't really think of that like that.
Yeah.
Bunch of good people.
Yeah. Any town you go into, like if you ever move anywhere, I just like CrossFit. It's like a church, damn near, It's like signing up at a church,
That's
It's like
cool.
you meet cool people, hustlers, hard work. I mean, you only go to CrossFit if you like to do something hard,
True. Yeah.
Yeah. So especially, then you go to the 5:00 a.m. CrossFit, you meet all the hustlers there, the doctors and nurses,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's so true, dude. You're smart. What made you like pick up on stuff like that? You just,
dude, honestly, it was being in the community for a long time and like just realizing the relationships I've made through CrossFit and the communities. And I'm sure it's like, there's levels to everything. Like once you get so far into dirt bike riding, I'm sure, the circle becomes like really tight knit and whatever. But it's kind of the same way in like jiu-jitsu. It's a real tight-knit community. My other thing is skydiving. It's a real tight group of people. They're, just awesome.
Right.
Entrepreneurs, go-getters, people that aren't afraid of risk, people that like to suffer. I found like the best people are the ones that, like to suffer with you, jump out of a plane with you, and try to beat you up.
That's true.
Yeah, that's the best communities I've found out there.
That's so cool. So what was it like being a cop in New Mexico? Like your first year, how was that?
Oh man, so first year, going through the academy just sucked. It's a lot of PowerPoint. You don't learn anything that's helpful for being a cop.
You're not even out on the streets?
No, you're in the academy for 6 months and just going through like all the law and which is stuff you have to learn, right? I mean, you have to have this knowledge and going through shooting and, room clearing, all that stuff. So that's like the first 6 months. And then when you get out of the academy, you go on probation for pretty much 3 months where you ride with a senior officer. And you're just kind of like their bitch.
Okay.
Like they're taking you to all the calls, like all these crazy calls, 5-car pileups or whatever. And they're like, oh, my rookie will take it. And you're just like, God damn. Like,
right.
You're just like, you're new. You don't have much confidence as a cop. I look like a kid, I didn't look like I do now.
Right.
I looked like a 19-year-old kid, like, I was young to be a cop. I was the youngest cop in Santa Fe.
Wow.
Yeah. So I graduated the academy at 21. So,
Damn.
And then I was on the streets, so it's just like, to have that, presence too was, a big buildup. I didn't probably get that to my second or third year, really confident to come in a scene and, you just take it over, take control, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, first year was cool. It was just mostly learning curve,
Right.
For sure. Learning the things, about 6 months on, then they kind of let you go. Like, okay, you're on your own,
So weird, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I would never guess you're a cop just because, like, it seems like I haven't had bad encounters with cops, but, like, just weird ones where I'm like, I pull out of a gas station at night, turn right, and then, like, 100 feet, realize my lights are off, turn them on, then get pulled over, get talked to. Like, I understand that, but then, like, one time I was just sitting there and a cop pulled up and was like, hey, let me see your ID and stuff. I'm like, what the? It was just so random. And I don't know. It just like the way I feel like I could tell this guy might be a cop if I meet him and he's not a cop.
Yeah.
Like just the way they look and stuff. But you don't look like a cop or sound like a cop, dude.
Oh, that's funny. I still get told I look like a cop a lot.
Oh,
I
really?
get that. Yeah, I don't know if it's because I'm bald or I got the bald look.
Yeah.
And the no neck.
That's something you guys have in common, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both have no necks.
Yeah.
I would love to someone tell me I look like a cop. Dude. I'm like, yeah, I got a big neck. I don't
neck,
take control of the scene.
That's funny, man. Yeah.
So then, while you were a cop, you figured out you could fucking buy houses and make money off of them.
Yeah, so I mean, yes and no, man. I've definitely like made probably more mistakes with real estate. I've probably lost more money than I've made now that I think about it with everything that's happened. But it's a learning curve for sure. So once I had stable financials coming in, I bought my first home with an FHA loan, and I decided to buy a triplex. So 3-unit place, rented 2 out, paid for my living. It was killer. Didn't have any debt, pocketing all my money. And then my next property, I was able to buy with a VA loan after a year. So thankfully, one thing the military did give for me is I got access to the VA loan, which, I mean, anyone listening, if you guys have that, it's no money down, it is like a killer loan.
What do? They just give you money and you owe them back or what?
Yeah, it's like it's a 30-year regular loan, and it's if you've been in the military, you qualify for it, and it's no money down, which is the coolest thing, and it's usually at like 0.25% lower interest than a regular loan. So yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. So I used that to buy my second property and rented them out. I was making some passive income, and then was able to buy a third property using the remainder of my VA loan. So I was able to get 3 properties with putting $10,000 down or something in 3 years. Yeah. So it was pretty cool. And I was doing that, I was 25 and I had 3 properties. I was making $2,000 a month from those. And I was making probably, I probably made $1,500 every 2 weeks, as a cop. I made $25 an hour. That, I was making $5,000 a month. I was just killer. And then my department pissed me off.
Your police?
Yeah. So I had this trip, and this is part, this is on my podcast, but just to recap, I had this trip planned to Japan and China. And the whole reason I planned this fucking trip was because of my ex. We were actually, and I didn't go into this in the podcast, but because of my ex, we were actually supposed to get married those days. Oh. And this is why I planned it on those dates, because I just wanted to be out of the fucking country. I just wanted to be it was a bad breakup. It was messy. I was just like, dude, I want to be out of here. So I picked Japan and China to be as far away as possible. And then there's a festival, one of the days. It's like August 20th or something. There's this big festival in Santa Fe where everyone has to be there. And usually it's not a big deal. You can get the day off. But my department said, no, you have to be here just for this day. All my other leave was approved. It was a month-long trip. And they're like, just for this day, you have to be there. I was like, I'm going to be in China, man. You guys already approved my leave months ago. You're coming back and telling me, hey, 2 weeks before I'm supposed to leave, I got my visa, I got all my travel. This trip was a fortune. I've been saving for a year for it, and they try to say well, if you're not going to be here, you can be AWOL. And
what's that?
Absent without leave, which is fireable. So yeah, so they're trying to play this game with me, and that's when I just said deuces, yeah, to be a cop, yeah, and that's when I moved out here.
So did they fire you? You quit right there?
No, I quit. Yeah. So the day they came back and said, 'cause you have to write a letter up the chain of command and everything. Oh. So the day I got the response from the chief, I turned in my 2 weeks. I said, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna play this game. I had the passive income coming in from our properties.
That's good,
I had some money in the bank. And then, I was I had been to Reno before, been out here to Tahoe with my buddy, and just fell in love with the area.
What did you like most?
Tahoe, for sure.
Okay. Just a lake in the mountains?
Yeah. I mean, being from New Mexico, we really don't have anything like that or anything close to that, it's just not lakes out there. There's not water. We're not close to the ocean, and Reno to me, it's just got everything, it's got mountains, it's got lakes, it's got desert, it's got forests. It's got a little bit of everything.
City.
It's got city, it's got the Vegas thing, if that's your scene, it's got, it's California's right down the street, it's so diverse. It was just, I was like, it's got everything.
Yeah. What's that city in New Mexico closest to Texas?
El Paso. No. That's in Texas.
When you're coming from Texas, the first major city you hit. I can't remember. Was it Albuquerque or no?
Albuquerque's the big city. It's probably
Why were
We went there, but I remember
Las
the mountains.
Cruces, maybe?
That was it. Yeah,
Las Cruces, yeah.
The mountains there were crazy.
Oh, yeah,
like
Las
it
Cruces
was a
is
huge
beautiful.
area.
Yeah.
like valley, but the mountains there were fucking like cliffs almost, but huge.
Oh,
off in
yeah.
the distance. You
Yeah,
remember
those
that?
places
I
are
couldn't
awesome.
remember right now off picture. Normally
Hot
I'm
as
good at
fuck,
this.
I remember that. but
Oh, it was
It's warm
hot,
out
dude.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that where the audience was all shitty?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that sucked. But yeah, so you ended up moving up here, and then you went to apply to be a cop again, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, it was like, the quickest way to kind of get some income coming in, get a house or get stable out here, So I applied for being a police officer at Sparks, and I got accepted, actually. And I actually had been back and forth. I was flying a couple times. And then for the last interview, they're like, hey, can you be here this day? I'm like, I just flew up there. I'm spending all this money flying back. I was like, fuck it. I'm driving up there. So packed my U-Haul, like I'm in the parking lot, like 10 minutes before the interview, shaving in the bathroom, drove all night, drove 15 hours straight to make it. And
That's crazy.
So that was cool. I got the job, but I ended up, kind of was like, I had a lot of soul searching to do because I really wasn't, I wouldn't say I was happy being a cop, in the position I was in. And, I've been shot at, and it's hard on your relationships, and, there's all these levels, and, you kind of get dissociated from people, a lot 'cause you're working weird hours, and, you're always, especially when you're working graveyard, you're always dealing with criminals, and you're just dealing with shitty people
Yeah.
all the time, so you kind of develop this like, us versus them mentality, like a lot of cops like are socially retarded just because, they're always dealing with these pieces of shit, they forget the rest of the world doesn't look like that.
Right.
And so I kind of took some time off from being a cop and just kind of was like, fucking chill. Like, like, dude, I've been like on a rocket ship since I was 18. I was like, in the military, then cage fighting, then police officer, then blind house. I was just like, all right, I want to make sure if I go back to being a cop, like this is my career, and then just kind of, after doing that and just me and my buddy Dan, who's a big time realtor out here, and he's just like me, he's just a bro, I guess, and
Yeah, he could be your fucking dad, dude.
Yeah,
you guys are fucking twins.
Yeah, dude, no kidding. So yeah, I'm sure you guys seen him around, and he's got his own podcast too, and he really motivated me. It's like, hey man, like entrepreneurship is just about hard work. And I never really like thought about it like that. I was like, oh, if you have a good idea, it'll succeed. If you have a bad idea, it'll fail.
Right.
Like that's kind of always thought it would be. And he's just like, it's really is just about hustle. And I was like, well, fuck, dude, that's one thing I got. Like I'm not the smartest dude. Like I didn't go to college or anything, but I got hustle. And so I was like, dude, this is a perfect career for me. So, I gave up being a police and then got my real estate license after going back to New Mexico and fixing up some properties and trying to sell those. So start out here. So yeah.
So that's not where you are now?
Yeah.
You
So
still have property out there?
Yeah, so I still got 3 of them. One of them should be closed tomorrow, hopefully.
Nice.
Yeah, and the other one hopefully on the 3rd of February. So
Cool.
yeah.
So then one left.
Yeah, so then one left. And I'll probably have to sit on that one for a while.
Oh.
Yeah. So I bought that one just last year and a half ago.
Okay.
Yeah, this whole Reno thing really was not planned at all. This kind of this was super.
Dude, you're making it work though,
Super,
right?
yeah, man. Like I kind of, after I moved out here, I was like, man, I could have been smarter about that, but fuck it, I'm here.
Yeah, good.
It's time to plant my feet, dude.
Yeah.
Like I'll do anything to make this work.
That's good.
So it's been tough though, man, definitely. But it's anything, moving to a new town and trying to start a business.
You don't know anyone.
Yeah, in a competitive industry. I mean, there's
Yeah.
6,000 real estate agents.
Oh.
In just Reno,
No
so
way.
yeah, and so I'm competing against 6,000 other people.
Yeah, I
know?
wanted you to talk a little bit about what that's like because I deal with a lot of agents in the flipping business.
Oh, yeah.
And 95% of them are fucking retarded.
Yeah.
And I can tell just by watching your posts, like this dude's going to be one of the top producing agents here soon enough. But like, I feel like a lot of people get their license and like, oh, I could fucking sell houses, and most of them sell, 3 houses a year or whatever, and they just get,
absolutely.
which is fine. You can make 30 grand or whatever doing that a year.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are part time. They work at Bullies on the weekend.
Oh yeah.
and they're not like submerged enough in the market to really have their thumb on the pulse of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And they really know nothing about real estate. And then it's like you have like 20% of the guys that are splitting 80% of the business, and then the other 80% of the people are fighting over the 20% of the business.
Right.
I just wanted you to talk a little bit about like what it's like actually taking it seriously as like, this is going to be my career, not like, oh, I can list fucking my friend's house at some point when they sell it, and that's all you ever do.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, most of the agents out there, you're 100% right, are part-time. The average agent sells 5 homes a year. That's what the average agent sells. I think if you make over $100,000 a year as a real estate agent, which is, that's like 10 houses. That's really not a crazy amount. You're in the top 1% of realtors. So, most agents are part-time. Most agents is such a low barrier to entry. It's one why I got into it, because it is low barrier to entry, but potential is unlimited. It's unlimited with real estate. You make $1 million a year if you want. It's just really how hard you want to work and how much you want to put into it. But a lot of people, you're absolutely right. Oh, I know, I go to church and I know so-and-so, and I could sell their house. I could do it. And what we see a lot of time is with these part-time agents is, one, they don't know the market. You're absolutely right. So they way overprice a home, and the other reason they do that is because they're really worried about that paycheck. So if you only got one home up for sale, and you're kind of counting on that $10,000 or what it is for the next 3 or 4 months to pay your mortgages, you're going to push for a higher price. So you can give you can lose your fiduciary responsibility to your client, and then you kind of push your own agenda. So we do see that. And a lot of people just don't work. They don't answer their phones. They don't, provide feedback. I'm sure you guys see me every morning at the gym. I leave in a suit.
Yeah.
That's like my thing. So, people think realtors don't do anything to begin with. A lot of people, cause you gotta think when I go see, I don't know you, you want to sell your house. So you want to sell it for, $500,000. 3% of that or 2.5, whatever we negotiate, that's a $10,000 paycheck, $20,000, right? It's like, well, what makes you think you're worth $10,000? Like, why do you think? I've never paid $10,000 to anyone for anything. Like, have you? What makes you worth 10? If it's more expensive, of 20,000. You go to $1 million listing appointment, it's like that's $25,000, paycheck you're gonna be getting. So it's like you really got to learn as being a full-time agent what makes you valuable and how to articulate your value. So it's we offer more packages, we have a higher marketing budget, and we're the aggressive agents. Like, I don't wait for referral business. I call people. I call people all day. My goal is to eventually switch to generating leads through social media. I'm not really sure how to do that. That's why I'm starting with the podcast and everything, trying to figure that out. But right now, man, we're on the phone. Yeah. We're calling people. I know one of the guys I work with, he's called you a few times. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tucker.
Yeah, Tucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's that fucking cold calling life, dude? So you're just calling people, like, who are you calling?
Yeah, so usually we start with our hottest leads, which are the expireds. So say your home came off the market, probably from your part-time realtor that didn't know what they were doing, and you're going to be pissed, you're going to be upset, right? Because now either you think all realtors are shit, or you really had to sell your home and now you have 2 homes and you left and you left the state, now you're paying the mortgage on this one. Like, it could be a real mess. So usually these people are pretty pissed off. So those people we bug first, right? Call them and say, hey, we noticed your home came off the market. Did it sell? And they're like, yes or no, because it could be an escrow. They could have got a deal for it. And if they say no, fuck off, click. It's what you get a lot of time too. And that's the other thing about the competitiveness of it. It's like, if you're not in the morning by 8 making those cold calls, because everyone has access to these, right? Everyone has access. So if you call at 8:15, they're only gonna get 3 or 4 calls from other realtors. So you want to be first on the door. So 8 o'clock, right? We start dialing.
Yeah.
And then, so, we hit the expireds first. Those are the hottest leads. Those are people that have already tried to sell their home. They couldn't for whatever reason. Usually it's price. 9 times out of 10, they wanted too much money, or the realtor took pictures with a cell phone camera. Yeah, that's what we see a lot of the time. Although, I don't know, with the new iPhone 11, I don't know if it matters anymore. Yeah, I saw you have one too. I was like, oh man, that thing's pretty.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, that thing's pretty banging. And then after that, we can call FSBOs, people that are trying to sell on their own. Just like, hey, like at some point, are you consider working with a realtor? If you are, I'd love to walk by your home just to see if I might have a buyer and to drop off my information for the future. Those are a little bit colder, but they're still kind of warm leads. And then cold calling. I mean, literally, I plug a zip code into a big online phone book, and it pulls up everyone in that phone book, and I just start dialing them.
You just go 1 through.
Yeah, I mean, thousands. Like you can do 1,000 dials in a day and probably talk to 100 people.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your pitch when you get someone on the phone? Someone does answer totally cold. They didn't want you to call them. Like, what do you say? So
it's all about like lead them into your. Let me phrase this right. You want to guide the conversation, right? Mm-hmm. So see if you can provide any value. So I call you up, ring. Hey, Alex.
Yeah, dude. Always start with the name.
Yeah, always, and they go, right?
Yeah.
Hey, this is Sage with eXp Realty down in Reno. How you doing today?
Fine.
Hey, we're just reaching out to a few neighbors. We got a new listing just down the street from you. Wanted to see if you might know someone that's thinking of moving to the area.
I don't think so.
God damn it! Get off the phone!
Hey, man, I know you got to go real quick. Do you have any real estate plans for the new year? We're expecting a hot market.
Well, my neighbor's house sold for $550K, and we haven't done a fucking thing to this thing in 30 years, so I think we could sell it for $560.
Well, great, man. I'd love to come by, give you a no bullshit opinion about what it'll sell for. Like, I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to waste your time, Alex. When do you have time to meet?
Oh, we're pretty busy. My wife's on fucking Medicare, and we have 10,000 doctor's appointments. And yeah, you're never going to be able to reach me from here on out.
Oh, bummer, man. Well, I'm going to send you a postcard with my name and information, okay?
Okay,
if you ever need anything,
great.
give me a call.
All right, thank you.
See?
That's why you're a typical call, huh?
Yeah. Most people will be like, hey, I'm a realtor. Why are you calling me? Why is a realtor calling me?
Right.
I don't want to sell my house. No. I would never ask you to sell your home. I just want to see if you might know someone,
Yeah.
But, a lot of people do. Most people, I will say, are nice.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you get the people who are like, fuck you. But, it really doesn't happen that often.
Mm-hmm.
Happened a lot more when I was like, so.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of used to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So, like, say you see someone driving crazy on the road, did your cop instincts come out?
Do what? Yeah, they do sometimes.
Will you be like... Or you like, what do you do? Like, do you get pissed or do you?
No, I guess I just notice it and try to stay out of their way.
Right.
Like if I see someone driving crazy, I'm just, or no headlights or something, that kind of goes, sixth sense, cop sense tingling. I was like, okay, just
that's good actually. That I always have, huh?
Yeah, situational awareness. Yeah. So like you always see me in my car too. I'm always checking my mirrors, because you got to do that when you're in the field because somebody can roll behind you, shoot you in the back,
Crazy.
Yeah. So you really just like when I'm driving, I'm checking mirrors. Always kind of know who's around me, never want to be too boxed into somewhere, you got to get out. So,
dude, one time I was driving back to Reno and this guy was swerving all over the road, and I called 911 to report a drunk driver because he was sketchy. He was almost hitting other cars and himself. And the girl on dispatch was like, "So what makes you think he's drunk?" And I'm like, "Well, the fact that he's probably crossed left and right line about 30 times the last mile is a pretty good indication."
Yeah.
Okay, so like, how aggressive are his turns? I'm like, look, I'm not even supposed to be calling you on the phone. I'm driving right now behind this crazy guy. Like,
right.
Trust me, he is not sober. Okay, thank you. I was like, what kind of questions are that? Why
did they ask you for his license plate?
Yeah, I read it to him. And she's like, don't get too close, though.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
I thought you were going to go with you got pulled over while you were on the phone trying to report someone else. I'm like, oh, that'd be
that
sick.
would be my luck, dude. That would be my luck.
You're like, no, I swear, dude, it's him.
Right.
He's the problem.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Excuse me. That is funny. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
So, wow, what's it like to be shot at? And where was that, in Phoenix?
No, New Mexico.
Oh, excuse me. What the heck?
Sorry, man, it's all desert.
You read that wrong.
Yeah, I read that wrong, dude. My bad.
Yeah.
Typewriter. So in New Mexico, what was just like a gang thing? Like what type of situation was it?
So this guy, he was coming in from just another county. So it wasn't actually our pursuit. So another sheriff's department was chasing him, and they kind of radio in because they're coming towards the city, right? And they radio in and they say, "Hey, just want to let you guys know, like this guy's fleeing and evading. He's he's going the wrong way on traffic. He does U-turns. He's trying to ram our cops off the road. It's all over the place, right? Like bad situation. So I want you to know the shit is coming towards you, right? Heads up, right? Will you guys help us? And of course, like, well, the most we're gonna do is, we won't join in the pursuit, but we'll lay down spike strips, like, because we don't want to involved with their shit, right? If you guys started the shit, we'll help stop it, but you guys, you guys handle it, right? Yeah, exactly. So they're coming into the city. We're setting up spikes, and there's officer like right here at this exit, and I'm down here, right? So he's at like the first on ramp coming onto the city. So they lay down the spikes, and I'm up at the next one. We got the highway shut down, and they spike him. And I can hear it. It's like, just like a thump sound. It's like, I was like, fucking got him. I was like, the guy, okay, cool.
Is
like
that the rim or something you hear? Or?
Yeah, you hear the rim. The rim on the ground. So, I start getting excited, and start, blood's starting to go up, and I see the vehicle, and it was like a red Chevy truck, and it goes down the off ramp. I'm like, oh shit.
Right towards you, right?
Yeah, so right towards me. So I jump in my car, and I go down the on ramp to the city. So I had to go, the wrong direction and go down. And I see this Mexican dude just booking it, and it's like, it's rural area right there. So it's just, it's just Mesa. So he like hops this little fence, and like one of the things like was like being the in shape guy around, because a lot of cops, especially in Graveyard, are fat. So it's like no one else could chase this guy as fast as I could. So it's like one of those things. You're like, well, should you stay in shape? I was like, I don't know. It kind of got me in trouble.
Sage has got this one again.
Yeah. They're like, he'll get.
They're all get him, Sage. Go.
It's like, God, you fucking lazy fucks. Yeah. So I'm chasing this dude, and I was to the point. I was like, do I tase him or do I tackle him? Do I tase him or do I tackle him? And then he turns around and opens fire with the shotgun.
Holy.
Yeah.
What? He's running with a shotgun?
Yeah, sawed off shotgun. It was like that big.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a little one.
Did it hit you?
No. Luckily I didn't.
That's gnarly.
I don't know how still, like to this day. I don't know if it was birdshot or I don't know what exactly had in there, but I just remember the, it was just, I saw this mushroom in front of me.
Damn. How close was he?
He gets closer and closer every time I tell the story, but
point blank.
He touched me with the muzzle. The gun gets bigger and he gets closer.
Right. That's funny.
Dude, he couldn't have been, I'd say 20 feet away.
Damn.
15, 20. And I was closing distance. You know what I mean? So
like at that door, huh?
Yeah. I was, because I had my taser out, and I was like I just felt too close to tase him, So I was like, I'm gonna tackle him. So, because I just want more control. So probably should have tased him, but then you can get tasers like stuck in clothing, and then you're fucking with this taser, So I just decided to just go to tackle him. As soon as I think he could hear footsteps, that's probably when he turned.
Oh,
damn. Yeah. So after that, we drew down, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were guys with you?
Yeah, eventually.
Running with you, or were you the only, once he fired, how close was the next officer?
Dude, I don't honestly know, man. I felt like they were really far away. Yeah. Some of them said they heard the bullets. I call bullshit because I didn't even hear the bullets. I know for sure I was the fucking closest.
Yeah.
I know for sure. So,
dang.
It knocked me on my back when he shot. I was like, it would stop me in my tracks, I was like, ah!
Right.
So I was close.
Damn.
So, yeah.
Dude, what a gnarly thing in your life.
And I was 22 when it happened.
Yeah, so going from that to having a few people a day tell you to fuck off cold calling is no big deal.
Yeah.
You're all right. Yeah, no problem.
I've been shot at before.
Yeah.
And they're like, fuck, he got me.
Right. Yeah. That was even worse, man. I'd say the worst thing about being a cop was being pepper sprayed.
Oh, yeah?
By who? Academy, yeah.
Really?
I get shot out all fucking day.
Oh, my God. You're crazy, dude. You're crazy.
Getting pepper spray was awful.
Yeah.
Like
Damn.
being tased it's more painful, it's more intense, but it's 5 seconds.
Oh,
It's over. Like pepper spray is like a 4-hour adventure.
whoa.
Yeah, it's just hell.
And you have to be pepper spray?
Yeah, you have to be pepper sprayed to carry it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's like a law?
Yeah. Well, I mean, for police officers.
Just so you don't
at
like
least.
abuse it or something. Or
Yeah,
you know
so
what it is.
like, imagine if like defense attorney. Oh, so you use this on my client? You don't even know what it's like. Why would
Okay.
you subject my client? You know what I mean? So you got to remember as a cop.
Like,
you
we're
know?
going to need to shoot at you, boys.
Right. Yeah, you need to know, right?
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, I could not be a cop. Dude, I don't have the balls for that. dude. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Just
me
like,
neither.
like you
Yeah.
were saying, you deal with shitty people all day
Yeah.
because, good people don't deal with cops all the time.
No, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't think I've ever called the cops in my life. Most people haven't.
True.
So, like, when the cops get called, it's either somebody normal having the worst day of their life, or it's a lot of tragedy too. Like, you show up to a dead kid call or something, like a family member died or passed away or suicide. Like, people are in like the worst spot they've ever been. They're
Yeah.
just disasters. And they're not happy. Like, it's just you try to be there for them as much as you can.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then on the other side, I mean, so you're either dealing with that or you're dealing with somebody that's like, fucking up his girlfriend or their husband or beating up their kid.
Holy shit.
Yeah, or some drunk guy on on the road,
Yeah.
or whatever it is. So
What was it like when you were in New Mexico? What was the town again?
So Santa Fe is where I was cop at.
What was like the most common crime? Like robbery, like gang?
Burglary. Yeah, burglary. We were like number one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, number one for a while.
That's just like
A
house
burglary.
break-ins?
Yeah, house and car. Car was huge because we have a really bad heroin problem in
Mm.
New Mexico. So, and anytime, there's high heroin problem, high drug problem, you got a lot of break-ins, a lot of thieves, thefts, and robberies, stuff like that, petty crimes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we had a ton of burglaries. We had violence, no like gang violence, really.
Just crackheads and stuff.
Yeah, crackheads. I mean, some gangsters,
Mhm.
nothing too crazy. I mean, we have cartel. We had we had a mix of everything down there. So
And you were a cop here, right, in Reno?
no. So I never did
Sparks?
here. No. I turned it down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did.
Dang. And then we just
Yeah.
went into the real estate.
Yeah, dude.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you glad you did that?
Yeah, it's man, it's tough. I think it's definitely the hardest thing I've ever done. It's being in real estate is being like just able to fail constantly. So like, and that's just a hard thing to think for anyone, swallow their pride a little bit, and it's like every time you call and you just like, because I like first few months you just like gaining no speed.
Right.
I'm spending 10 hours a day in the office. I'm going to the gym at 5. I'm going to the gym twice. I go to the office. I work till 8 at night. And then after just a few months, you got nothing to show for it. And then but finally, usually real estate's a 6-month game.
Mm.
Usually people aren't ready to sell their home the second you call them, but they'll probably be ready in 6 months,
Mhm.
right? You got to build that rapport with them, and deals fall in and out all the time. People like, I've had clients sign with me and then buy a home with another realtor. Like, like tons of stuff happens. So it's I'm definitely glad I did it because I love working for myself, the freedom, and I don't think I could ever go back to working for somebody if I didn't have to.
Nice.
Like once I've kind of tasted it and like really just seen the possibility, like I see these guys, I'm just like, dude, these guys are just regular Joes, like I'm sure Joe Rogan, right? Who doesn't watch his show? He's just,
Yeah.
he's just a guy who works hard, stays consistent,
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
What type of, do you know what type of volume that Dan does per year? Like roughly average number of transactions?
I think he does about 100.
Yeah.
He does
100 houses a year?
Yeah, about 100 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then his team does an additional, so he has a team of 5 people. So,
And they're like sub agents underneath him, right?
yeah. So, yeah, team leader. And then, full agents,
Right.
He's just like kind of like has a structure, the infrastructure in place. So he has like the office space, he pays for all that. Like he pays, he does the coaching. He'll go with you on appointments, which is huge,
Yeah.
because like going, if I go do like $1 million listing appointment and they're like, hey, what value you have? I'm like, well, I used to be a cop.
Not sure.
I'm really good at CrossFit.
Yeah.
And I cage fight. I know how to skydive.
They're like, yeah, but how much for the house? Like, fuck.
Yeah.
I got a mean lat tuck.
So you're on Dan's team.
Yeah,
So,
I'm on Dan's team.
So
yeah.
basically, the structure is he the broker too? Mm-mm. Okay, so he's an agent under the broker,
right?
And then he has 5 agents under him. So he provides you guys basically coaching, mentoring, office space, all that type of shit. And then in return, you guys are giving him a cut on every commission that you bring in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he, depending on how the lead comes in and generates, depends on the cut and everything like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So if he's supplying you the lead, he's going to take more of a cut than if you're out there cold calling, getting it yourself.
Exactly.
And then he just has to kind of walk you through it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But that's sick because, like you said, I mean, getting started is like the hardest part and getting more business. So if you can, just having him as a mentor in general is huge. But then, later on, like that's how you become a top producer is having a team. If you look at any of the guys around here that are selling hundreds of houses a year, they all have teams underneath them. So like you to work on that team just to get you started and then to have the firsthand experience on how this should be structured and what works and what doesn't, like that's huge for you in the future.
Oh man, it is killer. And I'm so grateful. And it's funny, I met Dan at the gym. Yeah, of course. I met him at jiu-jitsu and, we just hit it off real well and then, started talking and, dude, we're so fucking similar. It blows my mind. But, I was able to get on his team. So it's been like such a huge opportunity because not everyone, like Dan doesn't just bring anyone to his team.
Right. I was just gonna say that's gotta feel good for you. Like this kid's not even in real estate, but he recognizes just your work ethic and is like, this guy would make a great addition to my team. He's not even a fucking agent, but I want him on my team.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, exactly. So it was cool because like Dan's Dan's brand is hustle. He's gone 600 and I think 5 days without a day off from the gym. So 605. He's going to 1,000. I think before he just decided this at day 600 too. He's gonna go to 1,000 days without taking a day off from the gym. So I've seen it personally. Dude's not full of shit. Yeah. Like I mean, for day 500 we did. For day 400 he did 400 burpee pull-ups with a weight vest. Yeah.
Oh, fuck, dude.
And then we did for day 500. I did this one with him. We did 500 man makers.
What's that?
Man makers. So you go down. So you got 2 dumbbells, right? So we did it with 25 pounds in each hand. So you go down, you do a push up, and then you do a row. You do a push up, and you do a row. You do a push up, and you come up, and you do a squat clean into a thruster.
That's one.
Yeah. So yeah. So you figure, you do 1,500 push ups. 1,000 one-arm balancing rows, 500 thrusters, 500 cleans. Like it took us, I think, what did it take us 6 hours or something?
No way.
Yeah. I think it took us, it's on YouTube.
Oh my gosh, you guys are crazy.
Yeah.
Who finished first?
We finished at the same time. Like
really?
We had a whole structure because I did a fundraiser before where I did 2,100 burpees for a charity.
God, dude.
And before that, I did a charity for. I tried to do 3,500, but I got burnt out. I think at 15 or something or 1,200. And I learned like, hey man, you can't just go for it.
Yeah.
Like you need to find like your rates per minute. How many reps you're doing per minute. So I think we did 2 reps per minute. I think that's the most we could like squeeze in. Like 3 was just too much. So it was like 2 reps per minute and we just stayed consistent for, 6 hours. And it would take like a little break. Yeah. And I think that it took about 30 to 40 seconds to get through that 2 reps, So we had like, depending how fast we did it, 30-second break. So
fuck.
Yeah. 30 on, 30 off for like 6 hours.
That's crazy.
Dude.
Yeah. And then the next week, that's when I tried
to
bench press and tore my chest. So I don't think it was a good idea.
Yeah.
Did you eat while you were doing that?
No, that's where we messed up. We brought like goo and, those, whatever Gatorade packets and electrolyte shit, but like Dan went into a full on body cramp. Like he couldn't move. Like I ran Maverick right down the street.
Yeah.
And brought him like some chips, some stuff with salt, and some other stuff. Yeah. And got him moving, but he was hurting. Yeah. I almost died, dude. Dan's 40 or he's like 39, but
wow.
dude, that dude's fucking intense, man.
Fuck that, dude. I would never do
He's
that.
at fucking South Rack every morning at what, 5 or 4:30 or
5,
something?
yeah, 5. Yeah, they don't open at 4:30.
Yeah.
Or else he could be there. Yeah, dude.
Dude,
wild,
nice.
dude.
Dan's cool.
Yeah, dude, Dan's the fucking man, dude.
He's got to go to the fucking CrossFit, dude.
Yeah, he's been in there a couple times.
Oh.
He's been in there a couple times. I brought him to whenever they was doing a competition.
Yeah.
You know, because he really didn't know what CrossFit was, so I was just showing him. But
Mhm.
I'll get him in one day.
On the free day, maybe.
Yeah, I want to get him in
They're
there.
cool.
I think CrossFit's such a cool place. You know,
So cool. I
Yeah.
love it, yeah.
yeah. Did you guys know each other before? I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Before CrossFit.
Yeah.
Before CrossFit.
Before
Life before
CrossFit.
CrossFit.
Yeah. He got me into CrossFit, yeah.
Oh no way! That's
Mhm.
awesome. Yeah.
I've never hit the gym before that.
Oh no way!
Yeah, never.
Yeah.
And
It's addicting, huh?
fun. Yeah, it is.
man.
It
It's cool,
is.
dude. It's cool.
I like the competitive of like your times. I like how you can easily see you're improving.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like you don't have to look hard to
Yeah.
see you're improving. Like the weight gets more, you get tone. You know.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's like easier to see the improvements in that than like working for my own business. You know?
Yeah.
It's like I know I'm gonna get better, even though like sometimes in business it takes months to that paid off.
Right.
But in working out, you're like, fuck, I just feel it an hour after, I feel good,
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I've heard like multiple people say that like successful entrepreneurs, they're like everything you need to know about business you can learn in the gym,
Yeah.
which always blows my mind when you see people that are like fit as fuck, but
Yeah.
then not successful in other areas of their life. Usually
Right.
it's like the dude's fit and he's an entrepreneur and he does this and he does this, just like Dan.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
it's weird when you see people, it's like you fucking have everything. Like you learned it all in the gym, but you haven't applied it like by choice, I guess, but to other areas of your life.
Yeah,
That's weird.
absolutely. I totally agree with you. That hustle. I mean, I can break down where I got my work ethic from, and that, that drive, it's like goes back to martial arts, goes back to that mindset, like being in wrestling,
Yeah.
that competitiveness, and that just, it turns in, and you can apply it to entrepreneurship very easily, so but some people, just people have different goals, some people just want to look good and, fucking do whatever they're doing.
mm-hmm.
And that's fine too. I don't hate.
So what?
Yes,
so
yeah.
when you teach jujitsu, right?
Yeah.
Are you
So-
a black belt?
No, so I'm. I don't really know what I am. I got my purple belt like 10 years ago.
Holy shit, that's long.
Yeah. So, but that's in gi, right? So the gi is like the uniform, the jiu-jitsu uniform, and I haven't trained gi at all.
Oh,
So I only do no gi. So there's not. They don't give out belts for no gi.
oh, they don't.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
So well, unless you're under like one particular school, which is Eddie Bravo.
Right.
Yeah, his school, he'll give you a belt. He has a no gi program, but really, like most places, you have to get a black belt in gi.
Oh,
Yeah, and I don't have time to train both, so I pick the one I'm best at and that I like more,
Right.
and just focus on that one.
yeah. It's more
Yeah.
like not normal.
Yeah, so I mean, I would say I'm black belt level, especially no gi.
Uh-huh.
If I throw on a gi, I'll be my ass kicked.
What's the difference between gi and no gi?
There's just so many more leverage points on gi because I'm a strong wrestler and I'm like top pressure heavy. So, but on a gi, man, they can get grips on you and it just kills a lot of your game
Like on the uniform
on
or
the
something?
uniform.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they can start, they start gripping you, and when they have that grip, and it's a thick uniform, it's thick, it's made to be thrown around, and just it just the leverage, the game totally changes.
Huh.
Totally changes. I mean, there's chokes with gi,
Yeah, I
Like-
remember you could choke someone out just with the
Yeah.
gi, and you're holding like an inch below, like
Yeah.
their throat.
I mean, people start like untucking your fucking gi, and people will use your belt. Like like people they'll put their feet in like the armpit section of your gi to control you while having your sleeve. Like
I see. Okay.
yeah, man. It's really more. What I love about gi is it's very much of a chess match. Like gi is just so technical at the higher levels. It's like just so interesting to see. Because it's a chess match. It's like little small movements. People. It's really cool. So
Yeah.
no gi's a little more like,
Grunt,
yeah,
kinda.
beast mode.
Yeah.
It's a little more explosive, and so
dude. This guy don't believe me, but I won a gi tournament.
no way.
Yeah, white belt, dude. I fucking beat everyone.
No one was there and there's no results
Took
on
on
the
the
internet.
fucking
Yeah.
gold medal,
There
baby.
you have it.
I was only 2 months in. My coach was like, dude, you're killing it. Hell yeah. I would just listen. My coach was like, he would know what I should do next, and I would just literally like wait till he said something, and I'd do whatever he said because I was like, they can see better than me. This guy's fucking foot's all in my face and shit, you know.
Dude, that's so
and
funny.
I won.
Honestly, I like wouldn't doubt it.
I won, dude. I don't care what you say,
because
dude.
this
I'll
kid
put
will,
your ass in a fucking Kimura right now, bro.
you will,
Fuck him
but
up.
like he could fucking whip out some shit that would blow your mind sometimes. Just like you know, because he's so fucking goofy, and you're like, this kid's not capable of doing anything. But then like you'll see one of his videos, or like you see him fucking back up a trailer, and like just weird shit where it's like, what the fuck,
damn.
dude?
Or wake skating for the first time.
Oh yeah, just pops right up, and then he's fucking looks all squirrely like he always does, but he's getting it just fine and shit. Yeah,
That's
I'm
awesome.
athletic as fuck, dude. Everyone out
funny.
there, listen, I'm athletic.
Yeah.
Someone give me some money, dude. Seriously, I'm athletic.
Yeah.
Nike,
need
Under
sponsors,
Armour,
dude.
yeah, Lululemon, anyone.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Lulu.
Actually, Kirkland.
Kirkland.
Kirkland
That'd
has to
be
get some
so
jeans.
good, dude.
That'd be sweet.
Jeans and fucking thick cut bacon. That's all you get from him.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Fucking gallon up vodka, you know?
Yeah, so cool. Oranges, socks, blankets, washer dryer, anything.
Yeah,
dude.
Kirkland's a sponsor, dude.
Such a good plug.
Everything. So what's your goals for real estate for like the next year or 2 years?
So I mean, for the next year, I want to sell 32 homes. That's my goal
For 2020?
Yeah.
Okay.
So for 2020, that's my goal, is to sell 32 homes. So, and then year 2, honestly, haven't really planned out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just obviously, grow from that and get more infrastructure down. Like I said, like a big goal of mine is to go completely to social media, lead generation. So I'm, it's kind of like how much time do I spend in that versus, actually like, because I know cold calling works. It's proven. I've made deals from it. Like call on the phone is very powerful. It's like, can I beat that with social media? Can I post enough stuff to get as many leads as I could just spending time on the phone? And that's kind of like what I'm trying to figure out right now, and how to do it. So that would be the ultimate goal, is to eventually go to 100% lead generation from social media, because I think the really cool thing about social media is it's like compound interest. Like I can be the best salesman on the phone, but I can only talk to so many people a day.
Right.
But like once you have such a big following, or so many followings, like it's just going to grow exponentially, right? It's going to start to compound on itself. So, once you go to 10,000, it's easier to go to, 12, 15, 20, that, 0 to 10,000, it's like that first big hurdle, but I mean, you guys probably tell better than me, like I'm new to this whole entrepreneur social media thing.
5,000, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I got like 400, man. So
You just started though.
Yeah,
I've been doing this since I was like 14.
Oh,
you know?
really? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I watch other people do it. I'm like, I like, there's no way I can do just as good as them,
Yeah.
So like, and so I started to follow some other realtors that do like, and they take it seriously, they take social media as their business, so, and just trying to watch them. And I figure, why make up a new system, just rip off and repeat, right?
Yeah.
So that's my ultimate goal, would be go to full, social media generation. And then, 32 homes this year, first year in real estate. I don't think it's not been done.
That'd be crushing. And then eventually get to the point where you're Dan and have a team underneath you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The goal is to eventually be the position where you're not selling homes anymore, where you're training other people to sell homes. You know, of course, is the goal. But, to get that clout, and to be that respected where people would come to you, you kind of, like, I've talked to a few different team guys out there. And they're like, you need to be like selling 30 homes a year, like before you kind of take on a team. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of like the number to hit. And then, you'll start.
Seems like a lot.
Yeah. I mean, that's
You're busy, huh?
Yeah, that's a lot of homes,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
it is
cool.
and it isn't, like
True,
what's a lot? Is that a 40-hour work week?
Like that guy
maybe.
Dan does 100. What the fuck? 30. He's like, oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, there's dudes selling 500 homes, they have
Wow.
a team, but still,
Yeah.
like it's
Still.
crazy.
That's crazy.
You can get big as you want. The biggest realtor in the U.S., I think he's selling over 1,000 homes a year.
Who's that?
I don't know, some guy in New York.
Oh,
Yeah.
crazy. I bet that guy's loaded, dude.
Yeah, 3 a day, dude.
Yeah. Right?
That's wild.
Yeah. So, I mean, but like once you're that big, it's like, I mean, you just, whoever can spend the most amount of marketing wins.
Yeah.
right? Whoever, like, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. It's not the best realtor that makes the most amount of money.
Right.
You can be great realtor, but no one knows who the fuck you are. You know?
Right.
No one cares.
Right.
You know?
Well, look at Marshall around here. You know, most of
Yeah.
our listeners are from Reno, so everyone knows who Marshall
Yeah.
Realty is. But I've heard that dude spends, at one of the meetups I go to, someone told me that he spends like 150 grand a month on marketing, which billboards, if anyone has looked into how much billboards are, I believe it because they're like 2,000 to 4,000 a piece for the month. And he's all over the fucking town. He's all over radio. He's all over TV. So I could definitely see him spending over 100 grand a month in marketing. But, you know, it's like, if you don't have the friend that's a part-time realtor that you're going to hit up to list your house, who are you going to call?
Exactly.
You fucking pick up the phone and call Marshall for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. He's really done a good job of capturing, you know, all the billboards. You're all
And
over
Joey
the place.
Gilbert, dude, he's killing
Yeah,
it.
same thing for being a lawyer. Yeah.
Yeah. We're actually partnered with Joey Gilbert.
Yeah, I saw
Really?
you guys did something with him.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's our, we're all in the same office. It's pretty
Oh,
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
Does he come up to you
Yeah.
like, what's up, dude?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, he does.
Does he?
Yeah, he always grabs me on the back. He's like, "Wah!"
What?
Are you guys on that office in Liberty still?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We shot a music video in that office like 3 years ago.
Oh,
Before
no
Joey
shit.
was in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the same office?
Yeah.
You're in that one down the stairs to the right?
I don't know if
No,
it's the
it's
same
second floor.
exact one.
Second
floor.
It's in that same building though.
Oh,
We
okay.
shot it in the first floor.
Oh, I
Where you
gotcha.
walk down and then to the right.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
who's in there now, but yeah.
Oh, no way. Yeah.
You gotta watch it, dude. We tear the place up.
Dude, I will. That's
Yeah.
funny. Yeah. Yeah,
takes
but
off
Joey
on
got
him.
his real estate license, so he wanted to like so there's this big brokerage called EXP, and it's like probably I don't know. Everyone says they're the fastest growing brokerage in the world, but they get about 20,000 agents. It's the fifth largest brokerage, and it's huge. It's just growing rapidly, and the really cool thing about it, it has a recruiting aspect. So everyone you bring in, you get a percentage of what they bring in, and then what they bring in. You know, it's pretty much a pyramid scheme. But I tell people, I'm like, hey, the definition of a pyramid scheme is when the product isn't as good as, you know, as hard, being as sold as hard as the membership.
We were just talking about this like either
Last
last
episode,
episode or two
yeah.
episodes ago.
Oh, really?
I was
Yeah.
like, see, that doesn't seem squirrely to me until it's like they're not really selling the product anymore. They're only
Exactly.
selling the members.
Yeah, the membership, right?
And that's where-
Recruitment.
yeah,
yeah.
that's-
And that's like,
yeah.
look at like Verve Energy Drinks or Shakes by V or Herbalife, you know, like any of those, you know, it's like the products suck, you know, or they're no better than what's anything else. You know, it's the people selling the recruiting. Oh, but you know, all the people just have like stacks of shakes and shit in their garage because they're the only ones buying it.
Right.
You know, it's so yes, it's a multi-level marketing thing, but the product's real estate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just like, so you have these huge teams coming over from Keller Williams, you know, like huge teams. Like that guy I was telling about that sold 500 homes a year. His name's Grant Grove. He's out in Sacramento. And he came over to EXP. So like we got this really cool recruiting aspect, which is why we like hooked up with Joey Gilbert to begin with, because we're going to take over Reno is our goal.
Nice.
You know, so it's cool because it actually provides you residual income as a realtor. You know, it doesn't, you know, like if you stopped selling, you stop making money. Obviously, you know, as an
Right.
entrepreneur, right? Like if you're not working, you're not making any money. Like the cool thing about this structure is, you know, it's long term. It's residual income. You know, so
Cool.
yeah, for sure. So that's how we ended up with Joey. Yeah,
Cool.
We
Wow.
got a tangent there.
Don't
But
tell me you guys are gonna fight the other competitors.
yeah,
No, I'm
right.
just
Yeah,
kidding.
dude. The
I
fuck
feel
up.
like that guy, he's killing it though. Every airport fucking billboard, he's there with
Yeah. I wonder how much he spends a month. You could probably find out for us.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. I'll find out.
Yeah. I bet it's
That'd
a
be
lot.
crazy,
Yeah.
yeah. But Joey
Yeah.
would be a good guy on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And
dude.
Dan, too. That'd be sweet.
And
if we could
Dan,
get them
yeah.
on.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Even though he'd be like, who the fuck's this guy? He doesn't know what a house is.
What's a house?
Yeah.
Well, I'll put you in a Kimura.
Yeah.
He'd be
Yeah.
like, no, you fucking wouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Right.
Sweet, dude. Well, we'll probably fucking start wrapping it up, but we ask every guest that comes on, in your 26 years of life experience, which you fucking have had a lot. It's crazy, dude. Fucking
Crazy.
CrossFit for 11 years, fucking wildland firefighter, fucking in the Navy, trying to be a SEAL, cop, bought 3 houses, realtor,
Moved out here on a whim.
you up and move, skydiving. How many jumps have you done?
200.
200 jumps.
Holy shit.
Fucking. So,
Can you go alone?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So
I
what's
don't know.
what's your one piece of life experience that like you're biggest takeaway from life that you could give to anyone, no matter what they're doing? If they work a 9 to 5, or they want to be an entrepreneur, or they want to be a realtor, like what's your best general experience?
Enjoy the journey. You know, I think that's the biggest thing. Is I was really unhappy as a cop. You know, I was really depressed, and I think that, you know, taking some time off and looking back and just really realizing that, like, it's all good.
Right.
Like, learn to be grateful. You know, learn to be happy with whatever you have, even if that's not where you want to be. You know, like, learn to just, you know, enjoy the journey. Because if you're not enjoying it, what's the point? You know.
Right.
So, and if you're not enjoying it, do something to change it. You know, like I did. You know, I wasn't happy where I was at. I was like, it's time for a change. And now I couldn't be more, like, happy about where I'm at, you know, even though, like, I'm way more broke, you know what I mean? Like, compared to where I was, man, you know, start off, it's tough, but, you know, like, I'm not nearly as financially stable as I was as a police officer, you know, but it's just, I would say, you know, I'm much more happier in the spot. But, you know, I'm just looking back and, you know, all my life experience at 26 years of wisdom, right? I would say, you know, just really learn to enjoy the journey, because, you know, it could be over any day.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, you don't take life too seriously, you know, and spend time with people you love and care about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely, you know, the piece of advice I give, you know, because, you know, I've had friends die and stuff like that I wish I kept better touch in, just being out here in Reno, you know, and it's just, it's, you know, I'd say that. Yeah, those 3 things,
Cool.
whatever I did.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You got any input on that, dude?
I agree, dude. I
Thank
agree.
you.
Spend time with people you love, dude.
Yeah.
And like you said, make the best out of it, because sometimes that's like same thing. I'll see people in situations like your pet peeve where you say you go to the gas station, how's your day? And they go, living the dream. And you're like, no, you're fucking not.
Yeah, all sarcastic, living the dream, the fucking swipe.
Yeah.
No,
It's
fuck
like,
you,
at least
dude.
make the best out of it. If I was working there, I'd fuck with the customers, and I'd do something to, like, make myself laugh, you know, rather than just be like, you know, grunt about it. So, like Rick Ross or something, you know.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming on, dude.
Yeah,
Appreciate
man,
it.
it's been fun. Thanks for having me.
All the listeners, make sure to check out Sage's podcast, Sage the Rage, on Spotify, Anchor, probably soon to be on Apple as well.
Yeah.
And then where can they reach you for the real estate business?
So you can reach me at sagebachelorrealty.com if you guys want to book an appointment, or just give me a call anytime, 775-870-3595. I'm easy to find. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. I got YouTube, whatever.
Nice.
Yeah, just Google Sage Bachelor Realty, and I'll show up.
Sweet.
Boom.
Yeah,
Good deal.
Don't talk shit to him, too, because he'll fuck you up.
that's right.
Seriously, dude. Sick.
All right, dude, you want to do the outro?
Let's do it, dude. Make sure to fucking hit the 5 stars on the podcast app and leave a funny review about the show. Tell us about the house you want to sell, and, you know, whatever you gotta do. Hit up Sage. Let them know that we sent you. Shout out to our sponsor, Harmonious CBD. They will literally, with the discount code Go to Bed, as you check out, they will literally deliver it to your foot. It's been proven, and it's the big rage in Reno. So go to their website. And then after that, click a new tab, go to our website, go to bedpodcast.com, fucking buy a pillow, get a shirt. You can get a duffel bag on there, blankets, super nice blanket. You know what it is. Leave a review. Oh, and if you got bags, dude, and you're watching on YouTube, the logo behind us, for $100,000, I'll get that tattooed on the top of my head. And I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. We could do monthly payments of $15,000 for 7 months, or one check to me, JP. So if you got money to spend and no time to be with your friends,
How big is it going to be?
that is to be determined. That's
Well, you said it before. You said about 4 or 5 inches, like
yeah,
cover
yeah.
the top of his head.
Yeah, picture an average medium coaster.
Okay.
You know? Like something for the coffee table. Just a medium size on my head of our logo. So if you got money and you're bored, hit us up, go to bed podcast@gmail.com. And our Patreon account, we got the Sleepy Squad, $2 a month, minimum payment. And you can get a lot of shit. I don't know what it is off top because there's so much we offer. So go there and check it out.
Yeah, that's why.
I know. Thanks, guys. Go to bedpodcast.com, get a pillow, get a blanket, and good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. we actually record this often at night, so it makes sense. But like,
I gotcha.
Cut that check, cut that check, cut that check, cut that check. I need my check, I need my check, I need my check, I need my check.